Hey everyone, this is your lecture for 6.4, where we're factoring special trinomials. Okay, so the first one here we have to know is the formula for the difference of squares. So if you have a squared minus b squared, that will automatically factor, whoops, didn't mean to change my color, into a plus b, a minus b. If you have a squared plus b squared, that is prime and won't factor down. Okay? So to factor these, you ask yourself, what do I square to get 16x squared? Well, to get 16, I square 4. To get x, I square x. So this is 4x squared minus, excuse me, what do you square to get 9? 3, and to get y squared is y. So when I split it up, it's 4x plus 3y and 4x minus 3y. It doesn't matter whether your plus is first or your minus is first. And you're done. Sometimes you got to be careful because when you factor something, it will factor a second time. So when you have a higher power than 2, and I ask myself, what do I square to get p to the 4th? I cut it in half. So I square p squared. To get 1, I square 1. So this is p squared plus 1 and p squared minus 1 using my difference of squares formula. Now, if you look, these are perfect squares again. P squared is a perfect square, and so is 1. But remember, I said when it's a plus, it's prime. So you can't factor any further. Okay? What do you square to get p squared? P and p. A plus and a minus. What do you square to get 1? A 1 and a 1. And you're done. Okay? Now, one of the things, just like before, anytime you factor, you always want to look for a common factor first. So what goes into 50 and 72? Well, they're both even, so I'm going to start with 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. There's no variables in common. Hey, 25 and 36 are perfect squares. So what do I square to get 25x squared? We square 5x. What do I square to get 36? 6, and to get y squared, y. So we still have our 2 in front that we factored out from the beginning, and it's the first. This time I'm going to put a minus just so that you see it makes no difference which one is first and which one is second. Okay? The other formula we're going to use is the sum and difference of cubes. What if you have 2 terms and it's perfect cubes? A cubed plus b cubed factors into a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. A cubed minus b cubed will break down into a minus b, and then a squared plus ab plus b squared. You can see the formulas are the same. They just flip-flop the 2 signs. So just like on the perfect squares, what do I cube to get x cubed? I cube x. What do I cube to get 8? I cube 2. This x is my A, 2 is my B. So x minus 2, following this formula right here, the first term squared, the first times the second, and the second squared. Since there was nothing in common to begin with, this trinomial will not break down anymore, but we can simplify it, okay? We don't say x times 2, we write that as 2x. And then 2 squared is 4. And you're done. One more. If I look at these, I can see they're both even, and they both have an x. So let's take out a 2 and an x. Divide by 2, I'm left with 125. Take out an x, I'm left with x cubed. Divide by 2, and I'm left with 27. And if I take out an x, I have no x's left. Since there's two terms, if it factors, it's either perfect squares or perfect cubes. And we can see since this is x cubed, it's perfect cubes. So what do you cube to get 125? What do you cube to get x cubed? If you don't know what you cube to get 125, do the cube root of 125 in your calculator, okay? What do you cube to get 27? Okay, now let's follow a formula. We bring down that 2x. The first, let me rewrite the formula over here just so you have it in front of you. The first plus the second. The first squared. So since it's more than just x, make sure you put it in parentheses. Minus the first times the second plus the second squared. Again, all we have to do, since we already factored out our common term, what do you get when you square 5x or take 5x times 5x? 5 times 5 is 25. X times x is x squared. Negative 5x times 3 is a negative 15x, and 3 squared is 9. And that is your lecture for 6.4.